Welcome back to our YouTube channel. The demonic slaves of King Solomon refer to the legendary entities or demons that, according to various mythologies and occult traditions, were said to be bound and compelled to serve King Solomon of ancient Israel. Solomon, renowned for his wisdom and power, is said to have employed these demons to assist in the construction of his temple and various other works, as well as to gain knowledge and power beyond mortal capabilities. In the ancient Greek text, the Testament of Solomon, a remarkable and complex story unfolds about how King Solomon overcame numerous demons and compelled them to serve him in the construction of the temple in Jerusalem. This narrative is recounted from Solomon's perspective, offering a glimpse into his wisdom, struggles, and the divine assistance he received. The Foreman Son and the mysterious affliction. While I was building the temple in Jerusalem, I noticed a young man, the son of the foreman of the builders. He was an exceptionally skilled worker, and his dedication was evident in every task he undertook. Impressed by his diligence and craftsmanship, I increased his wages and food allowance above those of his peers, hoping to reward his efforts and ensure his well-being. However, despite my attempts to support him, I observed a troubling change in his appearance. He began to grow thin, weak, and pale, a shadow of his former robust self. A cry for help concerned for the young man's health and well-being. I called him to my chambers one day and gently inquired if something was amiss. At first, he was hesitant, reluctant to share his troubles, but my persistence paid off, and he eventually confided in me. "I don't know if you'll believe me, O king, but something strange has been happening to me," he began. "Every night when I go to bed, something comes and sucks my right thumb and steals my food. I feel it is taking away all my strength, and I believe it is an evil spirit." Seeking divine guidance, disturbed by the young man's plight, I returned to my palace, my mind heavy with concern. I consulted the ancient writings, seeking wisdom and guidance on how to free him from the malevolent entity that plagued him. I prayed earnestly for a solution, hoping for divine intervention. After several days of fervent prayer and study, an angel of the Lord appeared before me, bringing a ring with a stone engraved with a pentagram and inscribed with a name that cannot be spoken. The angel explained the significance of the ring and instructed me on how to use it to combat the demonic force. "This ring holds great power, O Solomon. When the demon appears, give this ring to the young man. Tell him to cast it upon the demon and invoke your name, commanding it in the strength of the unspeakable name." Confrontation with the demon Orneus. The next morning, I summoned the young man and handed him the ring. "Take this," I instructed, "and tonight, when the creature comes, cast the ring into its bosom and say, 'In the strength of the name, King Solomon calls you.' Then rise and come running to me. Do not be afraid of whatever the demon may say to you." That night, as the young man lay in his chamber, the demon Orneus appeared, intent on draining his vitality once more. Recalling my instructions, the young man cast the ring upon the demon and declared, "In the strength of the name, King Solomon calls you." He then fled to the palace, the demon shrieking and wailing in his wake. Subjugating the demon Orneus, now compelled by the power of the ring, followed the young man to my palace. He cried out in desperation, "Boy, what have you done? Take the ring from me, and I will give you the hidden gold of the earth. Take it off, and do not bring me before Solomon." Ignoring the demon's pleas, the young man reached the palace and called out to me, "O king, I have brought the spirit as you told me. He is there before the door, screaming and promising me the hidden treasures of the earth if I do not force him to come to you." I rose from my throne and went out into the courtyard, where I saw the demon in the form of a quivering flame of fire. Standing over it, I demanded, "What is your name?" The demon responded, "Orneus." Binding Orneus, I commanded Orneus in the strength of the ring to reveal how he could be made subject to me. The demon, unable to resist the power of the ring, disclosed his abode, methods, and the secrets of his afflictions upon men. With this knowledge, I sealed him with the ring and appointed him to hew stones for the construction of the temple. Summoning Beelzebul, after considering what to do next, I called for Orneus and gave him the ring once more. "Bring Beelzebul, the prince of all demons, before me," I instructed. Orneus, bound by the power of the ring, went to Beelzebul, who sat on his throne. Solomon calls for you, Orneus declared. Beelzebul, scornful and defiant, replied, Who is this Solomon of whom you speak? In response, Orneus cast the ring into Beelzebul's bosom and repeated, Solomon calls for you. Beelzebul roared in fury, casting forth a great flame of fire, but he had no choice but to rise from his throne and follow Orneus to stand before me. Confrontation with Beelzebul. When I saw Beelzebul, I thanked the Most High for granting me power over the demons. I spoke harshly to Beelzebul, who, recognizing my authority, promised to bring all the demons before me and make them subject to my commands. I appointed him to saw marble blocks for the temple's construction. When the other demons saw their master laboring like a slave, they were terrified. One by one, I summoned many chief demons, questioning them about their deeds, the diseases they caused, the secrets they knew, and how they could be subdued. After they answered, I bound them and set them to work on building the temple. Encounters with various demons. The demons appeared in various forms, each more grotesque and terrifying than the last. One appeared as a beautiful woman with a donkey's hoof for a foot. Another manifested as a man without a head, with a flame of fire emanating from his neck. Yet another took the form of a large, menacing dog. I bound the headless man and the dog together, using the dog's flame of fire to provide light for the workmen at night. There were also dragons, one with 3 heads and another with a human head. Another demon had a face that shone with a green light, hair like serpents, and a body of darkness. Yet another was a dark man with shining eyes and a drawn sword, claiming to be the spirit of an ancient giant who perished in the flood. Some demons had no visible form, appearing only as disembodied voices. Despite their fearsome appearances, over all of them I had dominion, assigning them various tasks such as carrying water, making ropes, melting gold and silver, and lifting heavy stones. With their help, the temple was built quickly, and I, Solomon, enjoyed great honor, peace, and tranquility in my kingdom. Solomon's wisdom and justice, kings and princes from all around visited me, bringing precious gifts and marveling at the wonders of the temple. My kingdom was greatly exalted, and my wisdom became renowned. One day, while sitting on my throne in the palace with Orneus the demon standing by me, an old man, one of my workmen, came before me. He cast himself down and cried for justice against his son, who mistreated him, beat him, and plucked out his hair. I had pity on the old man and sent for his son. The son denied the accusations, saying, I am not so wicked as to strike my father. I have done no such evil. I sent him away and called the father again, urging him to reconcile with his son, but the old man insisted on his son's death. Perplexed, I was about to judge against the young man when I saw Orneus laughing. I asked him why he laughed, and he replied, Forgive me, O king. It was not at you that I laughed, but at this wretched old man. He is plotting his son's death, but his son will fall sick and die in 3 days. I asked Orneus if this was true, and he confirmed it. I then told the old man and his son to strive for reconciliation and return to me in 3 days, providing them with food for my table. They obeyed and left. After 3 days, the old man returned in mourning, saying he had buried his son that day. I asked Orneus how he knew these things, and he explained that spirits can fly up into the air and overhear the decrees from the heavens about men's fates. When they fall from the sky, people mistake them for falling stars. The venomous wind of Arabia. In those days, I received a letter from King Atarus of Arabia, asking for help against a venomous wind that killed people and cattle every dawn. He promised tribute and peace if I could capture the spirit causing the wind. I gave the letter to my chief counselor, saying, Bring it to my remembrance in 7 days. After thinking about the matter, I instructed a servant to prepare a camel and an empty wineskin. The wineskin had the upper parts of the 4 legs remaining, sewn up with the neck open. I gave the servant the ring and told him to go to Arabia, where the venomous wind blew, and use the ring to capture the demon in the wind. Thank you for joining me on this journey into the captivating world of King Solomon's demonic slaves. If you found this story intriguing, remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more tales of ancient mysteries and legendary lore. Your support helps us continue to explore the depths of history and myth together.